Shalom. As always, first and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to the hopeful elect. So I want to get into this lesson. And in this lesson, this was end time headlines. They also have a YouTube. Did not know about it. And it just popped up on my YouTube. But this individual that you see here, I forgot his name, but he is the owner of End Time Headlines. And basically he wants to go into essentially what you see there, right? Preparing for the coming beast system. So he's going to go into, Revelation 13, but I'm not going to get into what he says. I'm just going to play the video from here. I'm just going to play it. It's going to be, you're pretty much going to watch about 7 minutes of the video, but I want you to listen to about 8 minutes in, right? Where after he shows something, it comes back to him, and I want you to listen to what he says, right? It's going to be like around the 8 minute mark, like 8 minutes and 30 seconds, 8 minutes and 40 seconds, right? But before doing that, seeing as how I'm using this thing, just want to put this out here, fair use disclaimer or copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by the copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. So I am not getting no type of monetary gain or anything like that. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Shai, I'm trying to spread that spiritual money, right, which is this knowledge. So like I said, I'm just going to let the video run to about like the 8 minute and 40 second mark, and you're going to see what he says.
So guys, listen, we've got a lot to talk about tonight. I want to talk about, let me pull this article up. We're going to go right into this. This is extremely interesting. All right, I want to show you this headline. Crypto leaders are meeting today. They met today. By the time this airs tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, they have already met, but crypto leaders and elites are meeting with Trump for a summit in the White House. Let me read a little bit of this. Cryptocurrency industry elites are set to meet with the U.S. President Donald Trump at the White House again today to discuss how the government will enact, quote, Trump's vision of making the country the crypto capital of the world.
I also want to express my strong support for the efforts of lawmakers in Congress as they work on bills to provide regulatory certainty for dollar-backed stablecoins and the digital assets market. They're working very hard on that. This is a tremendous opportunity for economic growth and innovation in our financial sector, and will really go a long way. I think it's going to be a tremendous, we feel like pioneers in a way, of tremendous method of growth. David Sachs, and I'd like to have you say a few words, David.
Thank you, Mr. Pay, because of your vision for that. We're also here because of your desire to make America great and to introduce a golden age in America, including for digital assets. And we're here because of your love of innovators, or as you might say, high IQ people. Yeah, we know you love high IQ people. And we have about 30 of them here in the room today. These are the top people in the digital asset industry.
David, so today, when President Trump has signed the executive order to establish the strategic Bitcoin reserve and stockpile, we're going to position the United States as a leader among nations in the digital asset strategy. It's important for the United States to recognize this fact and get ahead of the other nations in the digital age. We applaud the President's direction to use the digital assets already in possession of the nation, and we are going to establish this Bitcoin reserve. We use this authority to augment the asset side of the United States balance sheet. As I've said many times, President Trump is creating assets for the American people, while most past presidents have created debt, and a large part of this asset program can be in digital assets. We are going to end the regulatory weaponization against digital assets. The Biden administration's actions did nothing other than punish innovators, and that all of you have made it here today is really a testament to your fortitude. Much of Treasury's responsibility in this order relates to the tax code and determinations around risk weightings, and I'm here to assure you that we are going to work with the Controller of the Currency, the IRS, and we're going to rescind and amend all applicable previous guidance. And we are going to put a lot of thought into the stablecoin regime, and as President Trump has directed, we are going to keep the U.S. the dominant reserve currency in the world, and we will use stablecoins to do that.
Technology is at the foundation of the Trump presidency. He understands technology, he embraces technology, and he's going to use technology to drive America forward. The blockchain and Bitcoin technology are a key part of that thinking, and embracing that, and here today shows how much a leader the Trump administration and our president is. He understands it, he embraces it. As you said, you're a pioneer in this place, and this is where we're going. We're using the blockchain, we're using Bitcoin, we're going to use digital assets to pound forward, and Donald Trump is leading the way. Can't be more proud of you today.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is truly a historic day, and as a crypto founder, I couldn't be more proud to be part of your administration. You're moving at the speed of tech for sure, and I will just say it's a great day to have the war on not just crypto, but the war on innovation done. And under your administration, we are truly going to enter into the golden age. And I'll just say, as the administrator of the SBA, small business is a tremendous network that crypto can be deployed against, and so the SBA is open to crypto. So I look forward to working with all of the leaders in this room to advance your efforts here. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you very much. Tom, please.
Well, Mr. President, I want to say thank you. I want to thank you for the amazing team that you put together. I want to thank you for David. I mean, this kind of a meeting, no one in this room could have envisioned this just a couple years ago. You are the one that has the vision. You're the one that said we are going to do 21st century finance right here in the United States of America. I've been doing this for 9 years. It is amazing how far we've come, and that's a credit to you, Mr. President, and your leadership. And God bless you for doing this, because it's going to make a huge difference with everything else you're doing. And by the way, Americans love it. They're going crazy. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's truly wonderful to see how things have changed and how the pendulum has swung back in the way that it has. And we've always felt that the U.S. should lead in Bitcoin and crypto, and it's ours to sort of lead and win. And it's just wonderful what President Trump has been doing with this, and we look forward to working together. And thanks for inviting us, David, and setting this up.
Wow, I want to say that again. Again, this meeting is about Trump's vision of making the country the crypto capital of the world. Here's another headline. The U.S. Treasury Chief says this plan will be put in place on acquiring crypto. Now, guys, I want to stop here. The reason why we're talking about this today, because on our social media platform on Facebook, which is our largest platform, has almost 700,000 followers. I put on there that in order for the beast system to come to fruition, there has to be a major reset of the economies of the world. Now, people didn't understand what we were talking about. We had so many people in the comments. I was actually shocked by the amount of people that had no clue what we were discussing. So this is the one for you today. I need you to pay close attention. We're going to give you the resources. We're going to break it all down for you today, and we're going to give you the entirety of the picture of why I believe that we are vastly accelerating towards the beast system of Revelation 13, which will require something put in the right hand or in the forehead that will be for buying, selling, and trading.
Whoa, now, apologies for making that very long, but I wanted you to watch essentially all of that to this point, right? And to essentially summarize at least that one part we're dealing with Trump and everything, essentially it's showing you how they're moving forward with digital currencies, right? The CBDCs, all these type of things, which beginning with the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, right? They and us, right, who are entered into the labors have always went into. Eventually, they're going to push for digital currencies, which is eventually going to lead into Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16. But the point that I'm making here is, how is it that this guy is a Christian, right? Which he believes in Jesus Christ. You have Israelites who are supposed to be the light of this world, who are the sons of the Heavenly Father. And how is it that this Christian who calls upon Jesus Christ can see so clearly that they're setting up things to move forward with the MOTB, what is written of in Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16? How is it that he can clearly see it? Right? Listen to what he just said. I'll play it back for you.
Look at this headline, Revelation 13, which will require something put in the right hand or in
Something put in the right hand.
the forehead that will be for buying, selling, and trading.
That will be for buying, selling, and trading. One group that comes to mind that speaks against this and just likes to say it's everything under the sun, but that is IUIC dealing with Bishop Nathaniel, right? They will say that that mark talking about is sin. But here it is. Why is it that a Christian can so easily, clearly see that the MOTB is a device that's going to go inside of your hand, right? That will be for, like he said, for buying, selling, and trading. There's only two reasons why you guys don't agree with it being an actual device. One, you sold out, or two, you're just blind. There's something called Occam's razor, which is something that I learned from Elder Apostle, which is Occam's razor is essentially the most simplest answer, usually is the answer. It can only be those two things. Either you sold out or you're blinded. Because let's go to John right here. This is 1 John chapter 2 and verse 20. But ye have an unction from the Holy One, and ye know all things. So you're supposed to know the things concerning the scriptures. You're supposed to understand things, especially concerning prophecy, especially this one, because this one leads to either salvation or destruction. When I mean salvation, meaning that, hey, if you don't take this, this will be your salvation, right? Even if that means you being beheaded. But if you do take this, this will lead to your destruction, because Revelation 14 talks about those that worship the image of the beast and take its mark shall be hit with fire and brimstone in the presence of the Lamb and in the presence of the holy angels, right? So you will be destroyed in before the sight of the Lord. So how is it that, again, like I said, specifically with IUIC, how is it that you guys can't see this, but a Christian can see this? A guy who calls upon Jesus Christ. Why is it that you guys are saying it's sin, but he's saying it's an actual device that's going to be used for buying, selling, and trading? What's going on here? Again, Occam's razor. It could only be the simplest answer. You either sold out or you're truly blinded. Because again, going back to the book of John here, you're supposed to have an unction. You're supposed to know these things. You're supposed to know what the MOTB is, identify it, and tell the people. What you're doing is you're not identifying it, because Israel has always sinned. So that means that we've had the mark since the beginning. Adam would have had the mark then. So then how are we supposed to be saved? That doesn't make any sense. How are you going to use sin to buy and sell? It doesn't make any sense. And this guy who's a Christian, who has a Christian platform, I believe he's the head of it, can see that they're promoting a system, right, pushing for digital currencies, that, hey, you're going to need a device. He even showed it, right? There, hold on, right, it's even right there. Hold on, let me just...
In the forehead.
Right? A device in the hand, and it's the right hand, just like the scriptures say, right? That small device, the size of a grain of rice, in the right hand on the forehead. How is it that they can clearly see it, but you guys can't? What's going on there? Again, you're either blinded or you sold out, right? And we understand, going to scriptures, that, yes, some people are blinded. Some of our people, although they've heard the truth, they still haven't heard the truth, if you get what I'm saying, right? So this is Matthew, chapter 13, right? The point, the point isn't all here, but just to give you a little short summary before this, Yahushua gives a parable of a sower that was sowing seeds, right? Some fell on stony ground, some fell on good ground, and some fell among thorns. Represents, basically those that heard the word, but, the wicked one took away that which was sown in his mind. The seeds that fell among the thorns, basically they dureth for a while, they lasted for a while, but then the cares of this life choke the word out and they become unfruitful. And then those seeds that fell upon good ground, they endured and they brought forth fruit, some 30, 60, and 100-fold, right? That's supposed to represent those that come into this truth, right? So after he gave that people the parable, the disciples now are going to come and ask him, why did you talk to him like that, right? Because when Yahushua speaks to his disciples, he speaks plainly to them, but when to other people, he's not speaking plainly. So verse 10, and the disciples came and said unto him, why speakest thou unto them in parables? He answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. So for some of our people, right, whether they're in this truth or even not in this truth, some of our people, it's not given for them to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. Yeah, they know that they're Israelites, but hey, you knowing that you're Israelite only goes so far. It's not enough for you to just know that you're an Israelite. You got to know other things as well, right? Especially if you're going to call yourself a teacher, call yourself a prophet, and go out there and teach the people. You cannot be telling our people that, hey, the MOTB is sin. We've always sinned. So that would mean we all have the mark. All of us, and even to this day, we still go off. So that means if that means we have the mark now, then how are we going to be redeemed? How can we be saved? Then another point, if the mark is sin, how are you going to buy and sell with that? You have to trade something. You have to exchange something, right? The same way you give somebody your credit card, money is deduced from that, right? And then they give you your goods and they receive the money. There's a transaction there. How do you make transactions with sin? They still haven't answered that. Because, again, Occam's razor, either one of two things. Either they're blinded or they sold out, right? And I'm getting to the blinding part here. So continuing, right, let me read verse 11 again. He answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. But to them it is not given, and certain members of IUIC, it has not been given for them to know the mystery, right? This mystery of what the MOTB is, right? Yeah, they know that the Israelites, and yeah, they may bring out some other edification and bring out some other good points, right? Yeah, they know that the Lord is a so-called black man. Yeah, that's great. All those other things. But hey, this is a very important thing. Because like I mentioned, dealing with this MOTB, this could either be your salvation. And when I say it could be your salvation, meaning that you avoid it, you don't take it. Or it could lead to your destruction if you take it. Verse 12, for whosoever hath, to him it shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whosoever hath not, from him shall be taken away even that he hath. Therefore speak I to them in parables, because seeing they see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. So here it is, beginning with the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. They've brought out the edification, right? Going into the words to the point of ad nauseum, right? When you deal with that word mark, it has three words: charagma, charax, and grapho. Charagma is basically making an etching, a cutting into something. Charax would be the sharp instrument, a pale, stake, palisade, something that is used to cut into something. And then the grapho is pretty much the things that would hold the information, essentially, right? So if something is going to go in your hand, right, your right hand, or in your forehead, what is the means that they would use to put something inside your body? It would have to be a syringe. The syringe essentially would be the charax, and it would perform charagma, which is cutting into your flesh. And then they do the pushy thing with the needle, and it will push that small device, as you saw right here in the picture,
Forehead.
right? The needle which is the charax, would puncture your skin, right? Pretty much performing charagma, right? Etching, cutting into the flesh. And then what? They do the pushy thing and pushes that small device in your right hand or in your forehead. And now you have received the MOTB. It's that simple. That's what it is. And if you take that, you will be destroyed for taking that. And yeah, it may seem very insignificant, small, but it has a very big implication to the Heavenly Father. Meaning that you are siding with something that the Heavenly Father does not like. You are siding with the world that the Heavenly Father wants to destroy. And if He wants to destroy this current world, this current system, and you're joined to it, well, hey, I'm going to destroy you as well. Right? Because this current system right now is an issue. It's a problem. And if you're joined to it, you are a part of the problem. Therefore, the Heavenly Father is going to lump you in there as well, seeing as how you want to be joined unto the problem by taking this thing. Verse 14, and in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which is Isaiah, which saith, by hearing ye shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see, and shall not perceive. For this people's heart is wax gross, right, which the heart is the mind, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I shall heal them. So the Heavenly Father has blinded the minds of certain people, as is written of in Job, the deceived and the deceiver are both His, right? Those who do the deceiving, right, and those who are being deceived, right? The Heavenly Father is the orchestrator of that. So certain people's minds have been opened up to see and understand the truth, whereas other people's minds have not been opened up to receive and understand the truth, right? That's why, as it's written of in Amos, right? Amos chapter 3, verse 7, surely the Lord Yahweh will do nothing, but He revealed His secrets unto His servants, the prophets, right? So the Heavenly Father reveals His mysteries, His secrets unto His servants, the prophets. Those are the ones that have been given the mysteries, right? And then therefore they give the mysteries to those whose minds will be revealed as well. But amongst that, you will have those that the Heavenly Father doesn't want them to wake up. And although they hear, they're not hearing. Although they see, they're not seeing. See? And that's how the Heavenly Father gets down. That is the nature of the Heavenly Father. That although these people are hearing the words, they still don't hear what you're saying. Although they see things are happening in the world, they still don't see it. Which is a very, very scary thing. Verse 16, but blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them, right? And we, Lord's willing, we are those men, have been blessed, right? And when I say those men, meaning the elect, right? Lord's willing, we endure unto the end. That we have been blessed to see these things, and not just see them, but actually see them, right? Actually see, perceive, and understand, right? Hear, perceive, and understand as well, right? It's not just, okay, yeah, I hear you, but we can understand, right? It's different, like when the light flickers on your head, like, oh, I get it, I see it, right? It's not enough that someone just explains it to you, like, yeah, I see what you're saying, no, but when it really, you get that light flicker in your head, it's like, oh, I really see what you're saying there, right? And that's when you really get it, that's when you understand it. For certain individuals in IUIC, that light hasn't flickered. That's why they're still like, oh, the mark is sin. How do you buy and sell with sin? See, they're just going off of what they're being taught, which they're being taught the wrong way. Since we're into it, just going to end it off in Revelation, right? So this is Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, and it says, and He calls it all, which the He is the beginning with the top banking families, right? They're causing all, pretty much they're preparing, just like the individual, right? He is seeing that, hey, they're pushing for a system. They're pushing for digital currencies, right? Which calls it in the Greek is poeo, which means to form, fashion, construct. So they're constructing a system, right, built for a digital society, for digital currencies, right? And He calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And when I went through that word mark, it has 3 words, right? 3 Greek words. Charagma, charax, and grapho, right? And I went through them. Charagma is essentially the etching, the cutting into the flesh. The charax is the pale palisade, which is essentially a sharp instrument used to do the cutting, right? And then grapho is pretty much writings not to be forgotten, write down records, right? So pretty much the information that you're going to need to be able to function in this new society, in this digital society, right? So it's putting, and it's literally in there. If you just literally read the words, it says to receive a mark in the right hand. You don't receive sin in your right hand. No matter how much they try to say that stupid, the salute, no. It's literally a device that's going to go within your hand. How is it, again, that a Christian can see this? But you're Israelites. You're supposed to have the unction, and you can't. Again, Occam's razor. It can only be 2 things. You're either sold out or you're blinded. And if the blind follow the blind, they both shall go into a ditch. So those teachers of IUIC, if they continue teaching those things, they're going to lead others to fall into that ditch, to take that MOTB as well. And that no man, verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark. Meaning you're not going to be able to function in society unless you have this device. Not unless you sin. You sin right now, you go off without even knowing it. You're still able to buy and sell. You're still able to function. Without this device, you will not be able to function. Imagine it today. If you don't have your credit card, you can't do shit. You think you could get on the train, get on the bus, go here, go there? You think you could just go to a store and say, hey, let me perform a quick adultery, real quick, or let me steal something real quick. Nah. You try to steal something from a grocery store, they're going to lock you up and put you in jail, right? They're going to call the cops. So the mark can't be sin. It's a device, right? So again, verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name, right? So just wanted to, bring that out. When I saw that, I'm like, here it is. This guy is essentially saying the same thing that the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone are saying. But this guy is a Christian. How is it that he can see it? But other Israelites, right, who are claiming to have the truth, claiming to have the light, claiming to have the way, why is it that you guys can't see it? But remember, we call these Christians blind. They don't have the truth. But how is it that how is it that he's able to see something so clearly, but you guys can't? Again, one last time, Occam's razor. Either you sold out or you don't have the unction and you're blind. Only those 2 things. So I pray that this video has been edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory again to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham, Rachak, Quadash, double honors, the apostle elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to the hopeful elect. Shalom.